Hello everybody. Now I've shared with you the link to a wonderful animation of the story The Lost Acorns by Nick Butterworth, which is a fabulous Percy the Parkkeeper story. And it has a wonderful animation which is much more fun than me just reading you the storybook. However, I now have a different type of book to share with you also about acorns. And this is not a storybook. This is called a non-fiction book, which means it's full of information, lots and lots of true facts inside. And this book is called Acorn to Oak Tree. Let's see how it grows. And here's a fabulous picture of some acorns in the autumn and a beautiful, fully grown oak tree. Now, at the beginning of an information book, there is something called a contents page. Contents means what's inside. What does it contain? What's inside? So it tells you the page numbers down here. We can see it's got 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 23, 24. Now it counts in twos most of the way down, but then we get a sneaky 23 in the end. And on the first it tells you the title of each page, and on the first set of pages it's called What is an Oak Tree? We've seen an oak tree, haven't we? Because we've got one at forest school. So let's have a little look. What is an oak tree? An oak tree is a type of tree. All trees are plants and they have roots, stems and leaves. And you can see they've got labels here as well for them. Trees are plants that grow very tall and very strong. Their woody stems are called trunks, and a thick layer of bark protects the trunk on the outside. Oak trees can grow all over the world in any country, and they grow very, very strong and tall. They have strong trunks and branches which are covered in these very distinctive leaves. You can see that they've got all the crinkly edges. Not very big, but they do have those wonderful shapes. This page is called The Story of an Oak Tree. Oak trees grow in forests, woods, gardens and parks, and they live for a very long time. When they are between 40 years old and 50 years old, so a grown-up, oak trees start to grow seeds called acorns, and here they are inside little acorn cups, which is how they hold on to the tree and don't fall off. Once the acorn has fallen from the tree, the seed starts to grow. And here you can see in the second picture, here is a seedling. Tiny little plant as it's just started to grow, but you can see those very special oak tree leaves already with their crinkly edges starting to grow. As the plant grows taller, it becomes known as a sapling. So we've gone from a seed to a seedling to a sapling, and finally it grows into an enormous oak tree which can live for hundreds of years. Then the oak tree will produce acorns which will fall down, and then they can grow into new trees, and that's why it's called a cycle, because it goes around and around and around like a bicycle or a tricycle. The wheels go around and around and around. Little acorns. New acorns have a green skin on the outside, but as they get older they become drier and browner as the sun dries them out. Each acorn is a seed from which a new oak tree can grow one day. Some acorns have a little stalk, but others grow on twigs of their own. These are called cupules that they sit in, and you can see the way that they hang from the tree. Acorns have stiff little cups called cupules. When they are ripe, the acorns will fall down from the trees. These are called turkey oak trees, which have a slightly different cup, which is all spiky. Doesn't hurt your fingers though. The first shoot. Acorns need air, water and warmth to grow. So once an acorn falls on the ground, the skin will crack open and the tiny roots will start to grow. You can see them here, look. And this is called germination. That's a very tricky word, and that means starting to grow. Germination, it's a word you could have a try at saying. Some acorns germinate, start to grow, in the autumn, and others germinate, start to grow in the spring, sometimes even later. Next, a green shoot appears, so the roots have started to grow downwards, and now a shoot is going to start and grow upwards. Small leaves then start growing on the seedling to collect beautiful sunshine as their food, and as the seedling grows it gets taller and even more leaves start to appear. The shoot grows up towards the beautiful warm sunshine, and once the little leaves appear, the small plant is called a seedling. Growing tall. Seedlings grow taller and soon they become saplings, just like in the corner of our field at Forest School when we walk all the way to the far side. We've got lots of little saplings growing there, and you've been planting some as well, haven't you? Saplings have lots of leaves. They need sunshine, air and water to help them grow even bigger and into trees. You can tell how old a fully grown tree is by counting the number of rings around it. If you go for a walk in the park, why don't you see if you can find the bottom of a tree, perhaps one that's fallen down or has been chopped down, and see whether you can count how many rings are inside the trunk. They grow one every year. Amazing. Oak trees grow about 50 centimetres taller every year. That's most of you, maybe without your head on. As the tree gets older, it grows more and more branches, and the tree trunk gets thicker and thicker and fatter every year. It grows slowly, but it grows big and strong. A time to rest. In winter, the trees and the acorns are all having a rest, and they're waiting for the warm weather. In spring, there's sunlight and warmth. The acorns grow into seedlings, and new leaves grow on the trees. In summer, new acorns grow and their life cycle begins all over again. And you can see the seasons here that we learnt about. We can see winter, spring, summer, and the glorious reds and oranges of the autumn trees. In autumn, most trees and plants are getting ready to have a rest. The leaves on the oak trees change colour and begin to fall down. The ripe acorns and leaves fall to the forest ground together. Growing old. Old oak trees are full of living things. They're homes to many animals and plants. An oak tree can live for hundreds of years, and even when it dies, it's still a home for lots of living creatures. Insects like to live in oak trees. Wasps chew on the wood and use it to build their nests. And you can see their nest just there. There's incredible different shapes that they can sneak inside to sleep in the warm. Squirrels and birds such as barn owls like to make their homes inside oak trees. And humans use the wood from the oak tree to make fantastic furniture and sometimes even paper. They can make floorboards and doors and pencils and even paper. And that's the end of our Acorn to Oak Tree book. There's a lot of information in there. I wonder if you can remember some of those facts and go and tell one of your grown-ups what you've learned all about acorns and oak trees. Bye.